You might look good on paper, but the reality is that this relationship is not going to work because we fail to have the foundational skills that we need in order to make a relationship work. Compatibility is more than just, am I attracted to you? Because again, I can be attracted to you all day long. But if you are harsh to me, harsh with your words, harsh in how you talk to me, if you're dismissive, if you're demeaning, if you're degrading, if you're disrespectful and you want to call me out of your name, I don't care how attractive I've been to you. It's we're not compatible. Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, where we are turning dreamers into believers and doers. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you get out of your own way, overcome the hurdles of the past so that you can walk in your purpose and have an abundant life. And I'm your host, Angelina Watkins, your queen of becoming, here to help you become who you need to be, so that you can do what you're purposed to do, so you can live the life that you want to live. And me and my guests are here to give you a fresh perspective and the blueprint to win at love, life, and money. Today's episode, we're going to talk about compatibility in a relationship. So this stems from a conversation that I was having with my husband where we were talking about the zodiac sign compatibility. Now, before you turn this off and you tune me out, just hear me out. All of you spiritual, religious, God-fearing people, just listen to me, because I'm a God-fearing woman. I'm very spiritual and I believe in Jesus. But I also do read up on the zodiac signs, and I do think that there is some truth to the similarities amongst signs. Okay? And I do think that the zodiac signs does reveal a lot of commonality within the people within that signs and what their compatibility might be with those of other signs. But the conversation was that my husband says zodiac signs that are the same zodiac signs, meaning a Scorpio and a Scorpio, or Pisces and a Pisces, or Sagittarius and a Sagittarius, they're not compatible because of the same issues that they have that they're not going to be able to deal with. And at first I was, I'm disagreeing with him. Like, that's not true, because if we have similarities and commonality, then we should be able to get along and make a relationship work. But the reality is that it comes down to a nature nurture thing. Yeah, we might have some similarities, but what we cannot ignore is that each person, regardless of sign, has their upbringing, their past relationships, their bad experiences, their good experiences, their vows that they've made to themselves, their ideologies that they carry, the beliefs that they have, that are all filtering their perspectives and what they think and how they're showing up in relationships. So it really doesn't matter what your sign is. You can be compatible or be the same sign and not really work out because of your different upbringings or your different ideologies, your different values and beliefs. You could be with a sign that says you're not compatible, you work out because you all do have some commonality. It comes down to attraction and chemistry. Am I attracted to you? Do we have some chemistry? It comes down to common interests. Do we like the same things? Do we like to watch the same things and do the same things? It comes down to having similar goals. Are our goals the same? Do we both want to be married? Do we both want to have children? Do we both want to be entrepreneurs? Do we both want to travel the world? Do we both like to go to exotic places and try new things? Like, what are those commonalities that's going to bring you together? But even with the commonality, you might look good on paper, but the reality is that this relationship is not going to work because we fail to have the foundational skills that we need in order to make a relationship work. Compatibility is more than just, am I attracted to you? Are we headed in the same direction? Do we have the same interests? Do we know our purpose? You might know your purpose and you might have the same interests and you might like the same things. But if you lack communication and you lack empathy, and you lack sympathy, and you lack being able to see other people's perspective, if you lack how to properly communicate and resolve conflict and use your voice and make decisions and be able to see other people's perspectives, if you don't have that, no relationship is going to work. Relationships fail because one or both people have failed to heal and break free from their past ideologies, vows they've made to themselves, the values that they have that don't even make sense, the way they were brought up, the things that they've gone through that they've been holding on to. They've got all of this emotional baggage. And they have failed to let go of those things and develop themselves into a person who can properly navigate a relationship. They have failed to do that. Do you have the ability to communicate and resolve issues amicably? If you were never taught that, then what are you doing in a relationship when you come into problems? Because if you're solving your problems by what you've seen growing up, which is nothing but arguing, it's not going to get you anywhere. The relationship's not going to work. And the attraction's not going to keep you all together. Do you have the ability to empathize and have compassion for others? That's a biggie, a big problem in relationships, of being able to empathize of where someone else is and where their perspective is coming from, because you only want to know and listen to your perspective, and your perspective is right, and you totally disregard that person and what they've been through and where they've come from and what's going on with them as to why they feel and think the way they feel. And that's why perspectives can't be right or wrong. Perspectives are based upon your upbringing and your experiences and what you know and what you believe to be true. And we have to see another perspective to be enlightened. But your perspective is not necessarily wrong because it's based upon what you know. But now you need to be enlightened so that you can maybe see a better way or see things differently. Do you have the ability to listen and understand a different perspective? Okay, so at the root of relationships failing and falling apart is communication. We have a failure to communicate. And you all not working out in a relationship, again, has nothing to do with what your zodiac sign is. Although I still like zodiac signs because they give you a little bit of information and insight about who people are. It's not about the zodiac signs. It's not about the passion and the chemistry and the attraction. It's not about the goals and being in the common interest and being headed in the same direction. It's about, do you have the tools to make it work? Because it's going to be challenging. But if you don't have the tools to make it work, then it's not going to work. All right? We fail to communicate. One of the biggest things that we fail to communicate is our feelings. Not forget the positive, the good feelings. Oh, when we're happy, it's good to express those. We have no problem expressing how happy we are. But we have a problem expressing the negative feelings, the hurt, the frustration, and the sadness, the disappointment that we have. We don't know how to use our voice and articulate how we feel. We don't know how to sort that feeling out to be able to express to that other person what we're going through. And then it becomes, they don't understand you because you don't understand you. And they can't understand you because even when they ask, you can't articulate to them. You don't know how to express yourself. You don't know how to communicate where you are. You don't know how to communicate and tell them, look, I need a moment. I need a moment to myself to maybe sort out my feelings and get myself together. And instead, we want to get in that moment even more frustrated and more upset because we can't express ourselves, and then we take that out on the next person, or we take that on the person that we're in a relationship with. We fail to express our expectations. A lot of issues in relationships happen because we fail to express what our expectations is of that person. And then when that person doesn't meet the expectations, we want to be all mad and all riled up. But you failed to tell them what you expect of them. They didn't even know that they did something wrong. They didn't even know that there was a certain need that they were supposed to fulfill for you because you never expressed your expectations. We got to get out of expecting people to do things a certain way or show up a certain way, but we haven't expressed our expectation of them. That's not fair to that person who didn't even know the expectations or the standard that they were supposed to meet. And then when they didn't meet it, you're mad, you're upset, you're frustrated, you're disappointed, and now you're being mean to them, and they don't even know why. We fail to communicate our needs. What do you need from that person? We just expect them to know, and they're just not going to know. We're not mind readers. Okay, I know there's prophets out there, there's seers out there, but we're not mind readers. The only person that's a mind reader is God. So you got to be able to express your need of what you need from somebody along with your expectations. You've got to tell them. You can't expect them to just know. And it goes back to expecting people to be somebody that they're not capable of being because they've never been taught that, they've never seen that, they don't even know what that looks like. And so as women, we think that we should just know, the man should just know, I want to be a romanticized. He should just know that I want flowers and candy. He should just know that I want surprise trips. He should just know. No, he's not going to know, because every female is different. Everybody doesn't want flowers. Everybody doesn't want surprise trips. Okay, so you have to be able to tell them what it is that you want and what is it that you need. We don't communicate our appreciation. Okay, we take people for granted. We can't say a simple thank you. I appreciate what you did for me. I appreciate what you do for me. I appreciate you thinking about me. I thank you for, I appreciate you being considerate of me. And when we don't express appreciation, the other person begins to wonder, do you even appreciate me? Do you even appreciate the things that I'm doing for you? They begin to feel used. Okay? And as you fail to show appreciation and gratitude for the things that they do for you, then they begin to draw back and feel bad, because I'm not feeling like I even belong in this relationship. We also fail to communicate our fears and our worries. And we operate in fears and anxiety in our life. And we make decisions based upon where we are and what we are fearing to do. And we don't want to tell that other person how we really feel. And they are confused. They don't know how to operate, because they don't know why you think the way you think, why you are doing what you do, why you're making the decisions that you make, because we're failing to communicate and let that person in to our life and into our thoughts and into our mind and into our world, so that they can understand us and make this work. Okay. Along with failure to communicate is failure on learning how to properly communicate. I think that's probably one of the biggest things in relationships, is how to properly communicate. So I'm going to run through a few of these things that I know are pain points, that have been pain points for me and pain points for a lot of women. And I don't want to disregard the men, but I have to speak from a woman's point of view. Dismissive, no validation. You always want to dismiss our feelings as if our feelings do not matter, as to how we feel and what we need and what we want, or what we've expressed to you. It doesn't make any sense. It's not valid, and you ain't trying to hear it. The moment we come to you to express how we're feeling, you turn the conversation around to be about you. And you've just dismissed what I said and how I said I feel and what I'm telling you I need. You have a failure to learn how to properly communicate. But women, we do it too. All right? We do it. The men come to us. We want them to come to us. We want them to be vulnerable. We want them to let down their guard. We want them to be emotionally available. And then when they are emotionally available and they begin to voice who they are and what they want, and they begin to talk to you, and they begin to let you into their world, and they begin to express their feelings to you, you then want to dismiss them and dismiss their feelings as invalid, especially if they're not showing up as the macho, strong man that you feel like a man should be. Don't let the man cry, because, oh my God, he is a crier. Then you immediately want to emasculate him. And then we wonder why men don't want to show up emotionally. Being disregarding people, degrading them, demeaning them, making them feel like nothing. Women, we can do that. Men do it. They've been doing it. Now we're doing it a whole lot more, because we're mad and angry and frustrated about the way they've treated us in the past. But that's you bringing your past hurts and pain, your upbringing, your culture, and all these vows you made of yourself and these ideologies of what you feel like a relationship should be like. And if they're not showing up exactly like you want them to show up, then you become mean and nasty, demeaning and degrading, rude and disrespectful. in relationships. That's not going to be how you can solve problems. We're harsh and cold. Both sides, men and women, but women, I have to talk to you. We're harsh and cold with our words. We're harsh and cold in how we respond. We're snappy. We're nasty. We at no point don't care about being disrespectful and rude, calling them out of their name. For years, we have not wanted them to talk to us in that manner and call us out of their name and call us bitches and hoes and hookers and thoughts and everything else. But now we're turning around and we want to call them bitch ass niggas and, simple and all the other things that we say about the man to their face, to degrade and demean them and make them feel small and crush them under our feet. Okay? We need to have empathy in relationships in order to make them work. We need to have empathy in order for this compatibility to continue. Because again, I can be attracted to you all day long. But if you are harsh to me, harsh with your words, harsh in how you talk to me, if you're dismissive, if you're demeaning, if you're degrading, if you're disrespectful and you want to call me out of your name, I don't care how attractive I've been to you. We're not compatible, because that's not how I want to be treated. That's not how I want my man to treat me and to talk to me. We have now become compatible. I don't care what we look like on paper. I don't care that we headed in the same direction. I don't care that we have the same goals. I don't care that we have common interests. The moment that you can't talk to me right the way you're supposed to talk to me, it's a done deal. We are not compatible, because I'm not about to spend the years of my life of you calling me out of my name and talking to me any old kind of way. I'm not going to take that mental and emotional and verbal abuse from you. And women, that's what you got to understand. We dish it, but they dish it too. And the thing is, it's not just verbal abuse, but it's hurting you emotionally and mentally. That's mental and emotional abuse that we should not take and we don't have to take. And men, I need you to know, and women, you have to know this about men as well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good we think we are together. Not communicating properly and mistreating people totally makes you uncompatible. It's a done deal. It's over. If you want a relationship to work, we have to heal. I'm going to say we, because I'm still healing from some things, but we have to heal and stop taking all of this emotional baggage with us to the next relationship and spew it out our mouth, all of these things to the person we're with, and they get the brunt of our mouth based upon what somebody else did. We got to break the chains. We got to break the cycles. We got to break the patterns. We got to change how we think and how we're showing up. We got to be able to see other people's perspectives and not think that we're always right. Always thinking you're right is killing relationships and is killing the compatibility. Because again, it's not about right or wrong. It's about being able to empathize and see other people's perspectives based upon the filters that they have because of where they come from and how they were raised in their upbringing, their society, their education level. And then being able to enlighten them to see a better way. Not making them feel bad about how they think or how they feel, but enlightening them to see a better way. We've got to learn how to communicate if you want your relationships to work. Okay? Where you are is not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and pursue you.